Hey everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts, the Super Vader 400, and of course the brown skinned human here, back for another video. And this time, this is my second review of Aquaman 2018. This is just a review talking about several things I forgot to talk about or didn't elaborate on in part one. In my first review, which will also be uploaded late and will be uploaded simultaneously with this review when I complete both of them. But yeah, this is also the very first Aquaman review, solo review in my brand new house, as you can see. If you watched the first one, that was back at the early part of this year when I still lived in my old house. This is the new place I stay in now. So yeah, for those of you who are wondering, already still wondering why I'm in a different place in various videos. Some videos were completed early, some videos were completed early, some were completed late. And this is and the first Aquaman review is one of them. Like I said, I've always Aquaman already one of my. This came out in 2018, but I didn't see it until 2019. This is already one of my best films of 2019 right here. Aquaman. It's both. It's 2018 and 19. But I didn't see it in 18, so 2019. And like I said, who knew Aquaman and Shazam would be the two films to save the DC EU? With that being said, let's get started right now. It's time for me to reach for the stars, and it doesn't matter what you think of this video. Time to grab those stars.
Take off at the speed of sound. Bright lights and colors all around. I'm running wild and living fast and free. Got no regrets inside of me. Not looking back, not giving up, not letting go. I'll keep on running. I'm gonna reach for the stars. wake up, living day by day. Do what I want, and I'll do it my way. The world is lying right below my feet. Got no regrets inside of me. Not looking.
Hey everybody, this is part 2 of my second review of the 2018 and for me 2019 film Aquaman, which like I said, I've said it once, I've said it twice, and if I've said it once or twice, I've said it 1,000 times. I still, to this day, I can't believe Aquaman and Shazam. Who knew it would be Aquaman and Shazam to save the DC EU? Like I said in part 1, it's been a while since I've actually watched the first part of this video, so as I'm recording this part right here, if I didn't say this in part 1, I'm going to say it now. I'm going to talk about all the stuff I didn't talk about in my very, very first Aquaman review from earlier this year. Um, and what are the many things I didn't talk about in Aquaman? Gonna start with what I didn't like about the film. What I didn't like about the film. One of the only things I did not like about this movie is that halfway into the movie when Arthur Curry and I think her name is um Mara. Yeah, Mara. When they escape Atlantis and go to the when they escape from Atlantis, when they and touch down on land on land, that's where the film gets really that's when the film gets really boring. For the first hour and a half, you see these cool shots of Atlantis, which is so much more interesting. These cool underwater shots of Atlantis, which is way more interesting than what's happening on land. What's happening on land. So when they touch down on land to escape Atlantis, this is where the film starts to get slow, but it immediately picks up again when Black Manta shows up and this huge gigantic fight scene breaks out. Another scene I didn't like that was funny, but it was disgusting and I could have dealt without, was when it was either Arthur Curry, it was either Aquaman or Mera, I don't know, but someone smashed one of the Atlanteans' helmet, his brief, which he needed to breathe. So he had to quickly find a toilet, which he had to quickly find some water, and so he had to stick his head inside of a toilet. Man, I could have done without that gag, and that really did not need to be in the movie. That was disgusting, man. That was disgusting. So those were two of the only things I didn't like about this movie. This movie right here. Didn't mind the runtime, which this movie got criticized a lot for the hugely long runtime. I would complain about something like that, but I didn't mind it that much because the runtime at all. Because I was entertained for the most part from beginning to end. My favorite scene is the final battle between Aquaman and Orn. The Aquaman and Orn rivalry was one of the best storylines in the um entire film. So the Aquaman and Orn final fight scene for the throne, followed by every other scene in the movie from beginning to end. This movie was awesome. Not the most exciting ECU film ever, but the biggest and the best DCEU film alongside Shazam. And one thing that I still can't believe, that Aquaman Aquaman the broke the 1 billion mark, and not only did it break the 1 billion mark, the um it got higher than the Nolan's Batman trilogy and became the highest grossing DC film ever. Not only the highest grossing DCEU film, but the highest grossing DC film ever. Who knew it would be Aquaman and Shazam to save the DCEU and steer them in the right path? Yeah, I will be doing a rant on the haters of this film. Haters of the film. You have your reasons for not liking the film, but to try to imply that this is somehow, which this movie right here is one of the best superhero movies I've seen, but to somehow try to imply that this movie is lesser than any Marvel movie or is by any stretch terrible. Yeah, I've got something to say about those people. It's totally asinine. But yeah, but that's another video for another day. And the link to my previous Aquaman review, which will be uploaded with this review, by the way, will be in the description box below. But Aquaman 2018 is one of the best films of 2018, and it's for me already one of the best films of 2019. I saw this and one of the next films I'm going to talk about, Dragon Ball Super, this year. This year, Dragon Ball Super Broly this year. So yeah, what an awesome film, Aquaman. Aquaman was, and everyone played their roles great. Jason Momoa. I didn't like his Aquaman in the Justice League. Now I like it. I wanted the classic clean cut Aquaman. But after seeing this movie, and I can see how that Aquaman would be good for a television series, but not a big budget blockbuster. This new Rob Zombie Rob Zombie Thor style Aquaman. That's who Jason Momoa's Aquaman reminds me of in this film. He reminds me of the MCU version of Thor. Jason Momoa's Aquaman. This is the Aquaman we needed on screen, and this was the Aquaman they should have had. When I heard them casting Aquaman, like I said, I wanted the clean cut classic Aquaman. Yeah, that Aquaman's too howdy doody, dated and cheesy to be in a blockbuster. A television series centered around him would have been awesome. Amber Heard, phenomenal as Mara. Loved her chemistry with Jason Momoa, man. Sucks that I hear that Amber Heard is an abusive bitch in real life. Real life, real life. There's an ongoing lawsuit between her and Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, with her alleging that Johnny Depp abused her and some stuff. But yeah, but she was awesome in this film. It was a phenomenal superhero. And what's the name? Like I said, I loved her humorous and dramatic chemistry with Jason Momoa. Next, let's talk about my man. One of the main reasons I came to see this film, William Dafoe as Nude as Volko. I heard he would have a role in the DCEU. He would have a role in Justice League, and he would have a role in the entire DC in Aquaman. And this turns out this was his role. He was Nude as Volko, the mentor to a young Arthur Curry, training him to fight. They even used one of my favorite techniques, the de-aging technology, to make him look younger for the flashback scenes. So yeah, then, oh yes, one of the other reasons I watched this film was Patrick Wilson, Night Owl from The Watchmen, appearing as Orm Marius, the Ocean Master. The Ocean Master. And love when he said his signature catchphrase, which is now an infamous meme, "Call me Ocean Master." I love that. Love that. It was awesome. And Patrick Wilson was a phenomenal Ocean Master. Ocean Master reminded me of Loki, the MCU's version of Loki in this film. And he was far tougher and more threatening than Loki. One of the many things I like about the DCEU over Marvel. Then you got then oh yes, one of the other reasons I want to see this film. I heard that Dolph Lundgren would have a role in this film, and his King Nearest character is the exact same as his 1987 Masters of the Universe character. If that character grew up, retired from fighting, retired from war, and became part of a council, this is who that character would have grown up to be. And Aquaman, this is what it is. And this King Nearest character is what they were envisioning when they casted Dolph Lundgren in this role. It was like him reprising He-Man in this film right here. If He-Man had grew up, so yeah. So I definitely got my money's worth. Then you got Yaha Abdul Matian portraying David Kane, the Black Manta. This guy was awesome too. This guy was awesome too. Loved and loved his backstory and really sympathized with him that kill the and understood his mission to get revenge on Aquaman, to get revenge on Aquaman, get revenge on Aquaman. But in the end, I still wanted Aquaman to take him down, and can't wait till they fight again in the sequel, man. And Nicole Kidman was awesome as Alana, the queen of Atlantis. And this film, this film is one of the many times. Not only did this film, for the most part, follow the source material, but this film, in my opinion, is one of the many times where I think the characters, the source material, and the movie was bigger and better than the comic books that inspired it. That inspired me. Was always a huge Aquaman fan, but he's like my second or third favorite superhero. He's not my favorite superhero. I like his sidekicks, Aqualads. The Aqualads more. That's the Caucasian one and the Afro American one from Young Justice. Those are my favorite Aquaman related characters, and I liked all the villains, but I love their characters so much here. They're so much better on film with portrayed by live actors and CGI. So one of the many times where I think the film was much better than its source material. I definitely didn't see Ocean Master Orm surrendering at the end of the film. Surrendering at the end of, I mean, not surrendering, but after he was defeated, quietly accepting his punishment. I thought it would be either a death match with Arthur Curry killing Orm, the Ocean Master, like in that episode of Justice League, or it would be Aquaman beating up the Ocean Master, knocking him out, and then the post credits would see him in jail plotting his revenge. At the end of the film, he first demands Aquaman kill him, but Aquaman and tells him that mercy is not our way, and Aquaman replies, "I'm not. I don't know if you know this, brother, but I am not like you. I am not like you." And then the nudist vocal arrived with the Atlantean soldiers telling him to send him to a room, repeating another cool line: "Send him to a room with a view." With the view, which is what Orm, the Ocean Master, said to him earlier when he arrested him. Then Aquaman said at the end, "We'll talk. We'll talk." One of the greatest movies I've seen, man. In 2019, seeing this awesome film, 2019 seemed to start it off well until that that terrible traumatic moment happened when my internet and cable were cut off, man. Were cut off, but this was one of the many good. This film right here in Dragon Ball Super 2000 Super Brawly 2019 were an awesome way to start off 2000 were an awesome way to start off 2019. So like I said, Aquaman and soundtrack was great too. Soundtrack was great too. Yeah, let's add. I was going to do another review for this, but let me add it to this review. The soundtrack for this movie was absolutely phenomenal, man. Phenomenal, man. First you had the first first you had the um everything that the hugely popular post credit scene, "Everything I Need" by Skylar Grey. Then one of my favorite songs, finally a good Pitbull song, "Ocean to Ocean," the best song Pitbull has ever done. Pitbull is one of the weakest rappers of today. It's mostly just a hype man with punchlines, but this right here was one. "Ocean to Ocean," in my opinion, was one of his best songs. Then you had the Black Manta song when he was in the room building stuff, and then um yeah, so yeah, and the other soundtracks were great too, but the "Ocean to Ocean" song and the Skylar Grey song, that those two songs were the best, but the entire soundtrack was phenomenal. one of the best soundtracks in movies. Well, this was my second review of Aquaman 2018. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. If you don't want to hear the rest of the song, turn the video off right now.